Hello guys, and welcome back to DocMack Garage, and you probably landed on this video because you wanted to test your mass airflow sensor. Now, a mass airflow sensor is a very integral part in making sure that your car gets a proper air-fuel ratio mix. Now today I'm going to show you how to actually test your mass airflow sensor without getting out of your vehicle. Now this method will definitely work for most of you, and I'm going to show you how you do it through a scan tool. Now there's something called live data, which is very useful when you come to diagnosing your vehicle. Now you can look at engine codes. Let's say, for example, if you've got a P0301, it's a cylinder 1 misfire. However, those are either stored, current, or either they're pending as well. Now with this one, I'm going to use what's called live data, which means exactly what's happening now, and that is what you need to use to diagnose your mass airflow sensor. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how to diagnose it using any scan tool which supports live data. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. It would show your support and appreciation. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, for those of you who do not know what a mass airflow sensor is or what a manifold absolute pressure sensor is, I will include those details after I show you how to actually diagnose it using a scan tool. So I've got my scan tool right here, and I'm going to plug my VCI connector into my OBD2 port. I have selected the 2014 Toyota Camry, which is my car, 2014 Orion, with the 2GRFE engine, which has got a 3.5 litre engine. So now you're going to click on Control Units, click on Engine. Now this is the engine ECU area, and you want to click on View Data. Alright, so now you need to click on Map, and you also want your engine speed. So click on engine speed, and then you're going to show selected. Okay, so now these are the bits of data you need to pay attention to. So the first one you're looking at is your mass airflow sensor. This is your grams per second, GM/S, and that is the value now. And this is the engine RPM. Now, why are these two bits of data important? If you pay attention to the mass airflow sensor grams per second, right there, it is showing around or very close to 3.5, which means that my mass airflow sensor is working properly. Now, why is that 3.5 very important? So the value here should be very close to your engine displacement in liters. So if you've got a 2-litre engine, it should show around 2.0. If you've got a 3.5-litre engine like myself, it should show very close to 3.5. Now, this is your engine speed, your RPM as well. Now, we need to put it to the test. If this one is a little lower or a little higher, does it mean that my mass airflow sensor is bad? A way to test it is to increase the engine RPM and see if at all the value of my grams per second increase proportionate to the RPM. So let's say if it's showing 700 RPM and I do 1400 RPM, then it should show around about 7 or just under. Let's put that to the test. All right, so as you can see, that increased almost proportionate to the RPM, and you can see that the mass airflow sensor grams per second had increased. So as you can see, that increased almost proportionate to the RPM, and you can see that the mass airflow sensor grams per second had increased. So that's how you can view live data to check your mass airflow sensor. So I'm going to show you what a mass airflow sensor, an MAF, is, and what a MAP sensor is, a manifold absolute pressure sensor. These two sensors are very important so that your engine runs without any issues. Now, for those of you who do not know what these are, I'm just going to do a bit of a layman's term so that you will understand exactly how they work. Now, a mass airflow sensor is a bit like your nose. It's how much air has gone in through to your nose before it goes to your lungs. And a manifold absolute pressure sensor is how much air is inside your lungs. Now, these two sensors are very important. Now, come on closer and then I'll show you exactly where these sensors are. So if you look right here, you are on the front of the vehicle, and this is your intake. So if you follow your intake all the way through, you will see there is a little sensor here with a plug. Now this is what you call your mass airflow sensor. That is very important in determining how much air and fuel ratio mix your vehicle needs in order to do the proper combustion inside your engine. Now this is the mass airflow sensor. If you go further down, you will see you have got your throttle body. Now this throttle body is the plate which actually opens and closes, and lets air into the intake manifold. Now your intake manifold is right here at the back, and your manifold absolute pressure sensor is mounted to your intake manifold, so it does determine how much air is actually going into your intake manifold, and based on that data it will send signals to the ECU to either send more air and less fuel, or less fuel and more air, determining based on the live data that's going into your vehicle. All right guys, that's how you test your mass airflow sensor using an OBD2 scan tool. It doesn't have to be an expensive scan tool. It can just be any scan tool that supports live data monitoring. I hope this video has been useful and informative. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.